Hi guys, hope you're having a great weekend. I thought I'd bring you the little tiny bit of empties that I've got and a very small haul. I've literally not had a free weekend for about the last 7 weeks, from one thing and another, from taking nieces to concerts, to brothers' weddings, to looking after nieces for a week, to going away to London on a hen do. It's been absolutely literally non-stop, so very little shopping's been done and very little burning's been done as well. Actually, excuse my cat's tail just popping into view there. She has to come and have a look at everything I'm doing. First up, I'll bring you the small haul. These are pretty much all from Boundary Mill. There is the odd little candle in there from Primark as well, but as we go through. So the first thing I've picked up is this cranberry ice in the baby jar. I quite am getting into the baby jars actually, just simply for the fact that I can light them for not quite so long if I'm out walking dogs or things like that. The price on this one was £2.69, which I thought was a great bargain, and it actually had 10% off as well because it actually is running now. It's the Boundary Mill 10% for privilege members, so nice little deal on that. Again, it's a Christmassy one, but I do like the Christmassy scents. It's cranberry ice. There's nothing much more really to say. I'm sure most of you actually smelt this candle before. Quite nice and oily there. It's a 2015 pour, if you can pick that up there. So I'll probably save that till later in the year. Next I picked up another, it's a bit of a theme here, another Christmassy one, which is icicles, which I believe is being retired or is retired. I've never had this in a jar form before, but I have had it in a melt and I've had it in a votive as well. And I do like the scent. Again, this one was £2.69 with the 10% off as well. This was quite nice. It's kind of a bit piney, definitely sort of later time of year to burn. But again, can't really balk at it for that price. Again, it's a 2015 pour as well. And I picked up 2 of those. Then I got another car jar. I've got tons of these now. I need to kind of curb buying them. I have a Macintosh in the car already. This was £2.49, and it is the actual jar. It's not the paper version. It is the ultimate one. So I really do like these ones. And then lastly from Boundary Mill, and it's not lastly actually, there's another thing. I picked up 4 of these. I just put the other ones down. And the reason I picked these up, it's the little votive holders from Yankee Candle. And the reason I picked these up is A, because they were 59p each, which is a bargain, and secondly because it actually matches. I bought melt burners earlier in the year, maybe January, February time, for £2.50 in the exact same design, so I've got a bit of a matching set now, so I picked up 4 of those. And then lastly from Boundary Mill, I picked up just this little votive. I don't really know why because I've got tons of these, but I picked up the Snow in Love. It's a scent that I find really strong, I like it, and this was 49p with 10% off, so good deals all round. And then lastly, when I was in Manchester recently, I took my niece to go see the Vamps at Manchester Arena. Thankfully it was 2.5 weeks before the horrible events that happened at the Ariana Grande concert, and God bless all those people that lost their lives. What a horrible thing. But we actually went 2 weeks before that to see the Vamps, and we did like Primark and everything, so I picked up a couple of these Primark candles because they were £1. I am burning one at the minute. I mean, there's no fragrance really, it's just a nice little pot and a bit of light, but for £1 it's quite a chunk of candle, so I was happy enough with that. Next I'm going to jump into Empties. There's not tons because, like I said, I've really been out of the house for the last 7 weeks. On weekends I've just not been home at all, so I'll jump straight in with, I'll try and get them in order as well of what I've burned. First up is this Serengeti Sunset. I think now this is the last one I have in the baby jars of this. It's a scent that I really like. It's a fruity scent and I really like the scent, but the throw on these are absolutely terrible. You just don't smell anything. I didn't in the large jar or the votives either. This one has burnt right to the bottom. You can see the metal there. It's left some residue. There's a bit of wax left in the bottom there. My other one actually did burn to nothing, but this one I probably blew out when I was taking the dogs out or something and tried to light it again, and obviously the wick had died on me. So that's that one. I wouldn't really recommend Serengeti Sunset just simply because the throw is really weak, but the scent is lovely, which is a shame. Next up I'll show you the votives. I've been trying to get through quite a lot of votives, so I've kind of put them on here to make it a little bit easier. So the first one I did was this lemon meringue. This is the Home Inspiration range, Yankee Candle. This came in like a gift set. I think there were 6 different scents, and I think I've got 1 or 2 left still to burn. So it's 2016. I give it a 5 out of 10 for throw. Scent-wise, it was a sweet lemon, not a cleaning lemon, because I always worry with lemons it's going to smell like Jif or something, but it wasn't. It was a sweet lemon. I put very pleasant, kind of a sherbet lemon, there's a fizzy note to it, and I would definitely buy a larger jar in that because I enjoyed it quite a lot. Next up is the Star Anise and Orange. This was one that I think came out of my advent calendar, I think, so I don't think I've bought any more prior to that, previous to that or even. Excuse my cat. That's a 2016 one as well. Throw 3 out of 10. I found it very weak. It was unusual scent. If you were close up to it, you could smell it. I found it pleasant. It reminded me of sarsaparilla sticks we used to get from the apothecary when we were kids. But I wouldn't want it in a large jar. It's a little bit too unique for such a big jar. I would, however, buy it in maybe a milk cup or in melts. Then it's Festive Cocktail, again a 2016 throw. I've given it a 4 out of 10. This is one I had in a large jar and wasn't really that fussed about it. It smells like a fruity shower gel. I've just put there nothing special, so I wouldn't purchase that one again. The next one is Under the Palms. This was a votive I bought from probably Boundary Mill, I think. I don't know how old it was. It was in the really, really old packaging, the one that I didn't have any of the little circles they have these days where you can smell them and they tear off strips. It was like properly old and it was getting discoloured. Throw, I couldn't really give it a throw because there really wasn't a throw. I couldn't smell anything from it, perhaps a hint of coconut, but nothing else. I think the wax was just really, really old on that one. And then I've done 2 Simply Homes, White Lace and Linen. These are ones I bought quite a while ago. These are 2014s. Throw really strong, 7 out of 10. I could really smell that when I walked into the sitting room, and it's quite a big room. And I've just put really lovely, fresh linen, but it's not like a clean cotton. There's more to it than a clean cotton. And I put clean cotton without the detergent. And I actually wish they'd do a perfume in this because I like it so much. Oops, sorry, you're out of shot there. Do like a spray in this because it's such a nice scent. I really enjoy it. And then I've got Berry Trifle, which I've had in a medium jar and again wasn't really bothered about it. Throw 1 out of 10. It was barely there. I could probably pick up a little bit of sweetness, maybe the meringue side of things, but nothing much there to write home about. Then I've got the Pink Island Sunset. This one is a 2016. Again, it was out of the set that I got with the Simply Home or the Home Inspiration stuff. I've given it a throw of 7 out of 10. It was quite powerful. To me, it basically smells just like pink sands, which is not one of my favourites. It's a bit too sickly for me. But if you like that kind of scent, I would definitely give it a try because it was a strong one. Then I've got a votive in the Sweet Vanilla. 2014 this was. Throw 8 out of 10. This was really strong. And I love this. I love this. It's like vanilla ice cream. I would definitely buy the bigger jar. Obviously, it wouldn't be the Simply Home. It would be the Home Inspiration. But it was really nice. Next up, I've got a votive in Sweet Petals. This is a 2016. Again, it came out of the set. Throw on this one, I've given a 3 out of 10. It was very, very thin. It was like a floral type scent. Not really one that I'd really want to repurchase. It was a little bit sickly. Next up I've got another 2016 votive there. This one was Vanilla Frosting. This one I've given a 4 out of 10. Oh no, have I switched them round? I've got an arrow. Maybe I've switched them. Oh no, what I'm saying there is that is that one, basically. It's very strangely on this one, even though it's the same sort of scent, I've given it a 4 out of 10 and I've said it was very weak. Yeah, strange, even though that was an older one, but anyhow. Next up lastly we've got With Love. This was a 2016 and this is one I just finished just the other night. I've not bothered to write anything else down, but this one again, it was very weak, didn't really smell very much, and it was quite flowery, quite petally, quite rose-like. Wouldn't really want that in a big jar either. So that's the votives. Yankee Candle has not done very well this couple of months, let me just tell you that much. You'll see as I go along. I finished this little tiny fluffy towels. This one I've had for quite some time. You can't see when the pour date was there because it's got one of those stupid labels over it, and no matter how many you try, you're not going to get that off to see underneath. This one was definitely an older candle, probably 2012 I would guess. It burnt right down to the metal. It has left some residue. It hasn't burnt like every little thing, as you can see there. There is a tiny bit of soot in. It was fairly weak. You could smell it if you got close to it, but only if you were next door to it. But I think every Yankee Candle person knows what fluffy towel smells like anyway, so that's that one. I wouldn't really want that in a big jar either. It's not, the laundry type scents are not really my favourites. Next up, We'll do the Yankees, shall we, first? Ugh, this one. Sea Salt and Sage. Now, this is one that I bought full price from Very, I believe, but I think I had a 3 for 2 and I think I had a voucher as well, so it won't cost me very much at all. It's the 2015 pour there. This one, shower of a nightmare. You can see there's a heck of a lot of sooting going on, and you'll also see that I've hardly burnt it. It's probably, what, a third of the way through. Now, pulling the lid off, it smells quite nice, quite fresh, quite salty, quite sea air-like. But there's just nothing. When you burn this, I'm just getting nothing out of it, and it's smoking all the time. I don't know why the wick on it isn't overly massive or anything like that. It just doesn't want to cooperate with me, and I really haven't got time for candles that I just want to smoke the whole time. And before anybody says it, yes, I do have a Luma lid on this. I always Luma lid all my candles that will fit in a Luma lid. This one just didn't want to play ball. There's just little smoke trails coming off it as soon as you light it. So this one, I'm afraid, is going into the bin. I'm not that fussed about the scent, so that's that for that one. Would not recommend that. Will definitely not buy that one again. Next up, a similar story, and strange, this came from at the same time. This is Kilimanjaro Stars. This came in the same deal as the one, Sea Salt and Sage, and I'm trying to think what the other one was. I can't remember. I think it was one of the new ones. I can't remember, but this is Kilimanjaro Stars. Again, this is a 2015 pour, and it's actually got the Illuma lid on it that I use, so I'll just take that off. This one, the burn wise, it's been okay up until now. You can see there is some sooting, strangely on one side, weirdly, even though the wick is central, but you're not going to be able to see that wick because of the colour of the wax. But that is the fattest wick I have ever seen on a candle in my entire life. It is seriously hard to cut, it's that thick, which means that you get a fabulous wax pull when it does get going, but it's just smoking the whole time. So I can't really cut that wick down any more than I already have because it won't light, there won't be enough of it. But as soon as you light it, little smoke trails are going up into the air, and I'm sorry, but I haven't got time for candles like that. Now, I do like this scent. It's quite a masculine cologne type scent, so what I may well do with this one is I may well just chunk this out and use it as wax crumble or something to melt. I certainly won't be lighting that again because I don't want to be breathing that stuff in, let alone having it going flying around my living room. Let's have a look. What else have we got? Eden. Eden's. I've got another one going. That's Eden in the what's that called? That thing. I've forgotten what it's called. Yes, that candle thing. I've reviewed this millions of times before. That's what's left of it. This little sad-looking piece of wax. Gorgeous. Obviously, one of my favourites for melt candles, and I already have another one halfway through. So, obviously, I would repurchase that, and I would definitely recommend that company. Next up is this one. Now, this is done so well. This is one of the B&M ones that I've reviewed before. You all know how much I like this, and I like the price as well, £2.99. Admittedly, it is the only one or only scent of the range that I've actually tried. I can't obviously comment on the other type of ranges because I've not tried them. This one's been fabulous. I finished it off last night. You can see it's gone all the way to the bottom, completely put itself out. There's literally nothing left really in there. There's a little centimetre of wax left. Scent gorgeous. You can smell it pretty much as soon as you light it. It fills the room. Really enjoy it. It's gentle. It's not in your face too much. It's just a really nice scent. Would definitely recommend this one. Incidentally, you can see there's a bit of mess on the jar. Now, it is a very soft wax, and as it were burning, it did leave a lip on one side. And what I normally do with things like that is I normally try and correct them and push them down. But in this case, I just left it be, and it corrected itself. So in future, I won't be doing that. I'll just leave it to work its own self out, and that's what I did. So fabulous. We'll definitely buy more of these if I find them. They're not always in my B&M. They do have lots of other scents, but not always this one. So if I find this one, I'll get a couple more because I like them. Next up is another bit of a dud really. This is the DW Home White Sandalwood. Comes with a nice little lid. I didn't care for the scent. It's quite a sour type scent to me. It's fairly strong. I mean, I could smell it when it was burning, but it was a sour note to it I didn't like, and it was starting to soot up a little bit there, and you can see I've had trouble with tunnelling and wax problems, and then this one as well started to smoke a little bit, so that one's going in the bin because ain't no one got time for smoking candles. And then I've got this random little, don't know what I've put that there for, random little nugget. I think that's the Hot Apple Toddy by Colonial Candle, one of the melts. I can still smell it's got a spice to it. An appley spice to it. Just a melt. Not much to say about that one. And then last up, looking around me, last up is another melt candle. This is in Angel. Super gorgeous scent. Oh, it's so nice. It's almost like a Terry Mugler Angel, but watered down. It's not as in your face. This one has gone to the bottom. There probably would be maybe another light in there, but it is, you can kind of see my finger through it. So I really wouldn't want to try and light this one again. You can see there's a whole chunk of candle left. This one I wasn't very kind to this candle, shall we say. This is one that I've lit and I've kind of thought, oh, I need to walk the dogs, I need to go out and blown it out. So we've not really helped it along. But with these, I don't worry because they're not in a container, they're just a candle, as you can see. So what I do with these when they get like this, I just cut them up into melts and use them on a warmer. And the scent is just, again, it's melt candle. The scent is just absolutely amazing on these. I would definitely recommend and definitely rebuy that one. And that's everything, guys. I did tell you it was going to be short and sweet. Like I say, I've not been home enough to be able to be melting or burning a whole lot as I usually am. So that's my entire catalogue of buys and burns and melts. Not had the greatest of couple of months really with Yankee Candle. Still love Yankee Candle. I'm not bad mouthing them. It's just I've had rotten luck really with these. And I do illuminate. I do trim the wicks. They're in a living room that's got there's no drafts or anything like that. They're not in a direct draft. The candle flame is straight and true. It's just they've not been brilliant for me this couple of months. But that's everything. I'll try and get more regular with posting. I know I've been away for weeks and weeks, but you know how it is. Life gets in the way. Not sure what I'm up to in terms of buying next. I have spied some of the new Yankee candles that I'm quite interested in, so I might have a little mosey on down into town in the next couple of weeks and see what I can see. But other than that, I ain't got any plans. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys, and I hopefully speak to you soon. Bye.